staple food that is on high demand for human consumption and other uses. Between 50 to 70% of poultry food in the country depends on maize. Despite being the highest grown grain across the country annually, there remains a shortage as demand for the crop continues to exceed its supply. This, coupled with the ban on the importation of the maize, has continued to impact on the scarcity of the crop, both as food for man and for use as poultry feed in the country. What is the situation currently with the scarcity of maize and the way forward? This is our focus today on Panorama from the Ibadan Zonal Center on the network service of the NTA. I'm Kemi Akiwande. Thanks for joining us. Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State has raised alarm over what he called the massive influx of the Boko Haram terrorists along the Benue-Nasarawa border, jeopardizing efforts at maintaining peace and security. The governor was in the State House to brief President Muhammadu Buhari on the worrisome situation and the way forward. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports that problems associated with COVID-19 and roads infrastructure were also discussed.
You are welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You are so close to her.
Yes, sir. This is the first formal engagement between President Muhammadu Buhari and the Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule in the year 2021. The governor is here to thank the president for his prompt intervention in dislodging the Boko Haram elements that settled and wreaking havoc at the border between Nasarawa and the FCT.
When I came here the last time, I appealed to Mr. President, and then the DSS, police, Air Force, Army had a joint operation, and they were able to dislodge them. When they dislodged them, a lot of them were killed, some of them ran away and leave their members of the family. We took hostage about 900 members of that family into life here. Now they have gone back and gathered at our border with Benue, and they are causing a lot of havoc. Therefore, it was an opportunity Mr. President wanted to know, so I briefed him, and I strongly believe, just like decision was taken last time to take care of this, another decision will be taken to do this.
Governor Sule also used the opportunity to show appreciation to President Buhari for approving the utilization of the ecological funds towards constructing a road linking Uke, Karshi and the FCT aimed at easing the traffic congestion along the Kefi-Abuja highway.
But what will solve the problem once and for all is if we have additional route from Gitata, Panda, Guruku and Mpape. That one will solve two of our problems. One, it will go ahead and reduce the traffic jam along these two routes that we have at the moment. And then it will also open up the area for development. In fact, you can call that another Maitama. That's the second Maitama because it's very close to Maitama once we do that. So we came specifically to appeal to Mr. President to take over that road. The government actually discussed it once at the ESCO meeting and took a decision. But I came to see if we can expedite in the commencement of that work.
The governor also briefed the president on the devastating effect of coronavirus on lives and livelihoods in the state and solicited the support of the federal government towards controlling and containing the pandemic. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Progressive Congress says all is set to make its forthcoming re-registration, revalidation exercise seamless and conform with COVID-19 guidelines. Governor of Kogi State and Chairman of Mobilization and Sensitization Committee of the party, Yahaya Bello, reaffirmed this during a strategic meeting with party leaders in Abuja. Salihu Abdullahi Guarana reports.
In about 48 hours, the rebuilding process of the All Progressives Congress through re-registration of old and new members is expected to commence across the country. In line with the demand of the party's leader, President Muhammadu Buhari, the exercise will be a bottom-top approach. This necessitated the strategic engagement with all APC state caretaker chairmen, where guidelines for the exercise were made clear.
You cannot claim to be strong or even to be in power or in authority today if your membership or your base is not big and robust enough. So as chairman of our great party, the number of people you are able to convince to join our political party, either from a different political party or even those who do not have interest in politics before, how much were you able to convince them to join APC? That is your strength. We have several reasons to adduce and to advance for Nigerians to join the All Progressive Congress. President have achieved enough.
The chairman of the Mobilization and Sensitization Committee added that subcommittees at wards, local government, state and zonal levels will be inaugurated to fast-track the exercise. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
22nd of January 2021, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) confirmed 1,483 new cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria, with 5 deaths. The new cases are reported from 23 states: Kaduna 545, FCT 235, Plateau 127, Nasarawa 80, Oyo 72, Delta 65, Rivers 64, Kano 46, Ogun 46, Bayelsa 30, Gombe 30, Abia 28, Osun 27, Edo 25, Ondo 14, Sokoto 12, Zamfara 10, Bauchi 8, Imo 5, Jigawa, Ekiti, and Borno 4 cases each, and Niger 2. Till date, 118,138 cases have been confirmed, 94,150 cases have been discharged, and 1,490 deaths have been recorded in 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Ultimate aim of the federal government is to emerge from the COVID-19 with the nation's health capacity strengthened and the overall healthcare system enhanced. Vice President YemiOsinbajo stated these while inspecting facilities at the National Center for Disease Control's reference laboratory in Abuja.
The National Center for Disease Control has the mandate to protect the health of Nigerians from the threat and occurrence of infectious diseases. With the outbreak of COVID-19, activities of the National Health Agency have increased, and all eyes are on it to deliver on this mandate. The coming of Vice President YemiOsinbajo to inspect the agency's laboratory facilities underlines this fact that the government and indeed Nigerians are counting and depending on it to finding solutions to the menace of COVID-19 pandemic ravaging the country and other infectious diseases.
So this new technology,
Vice President Osinbajo was informed that the total samples tested so far is 1.2 million, with 116,000 plus cases discovered, and of the number, 21,542 are active cases. In the last few weeks, however, more than 1,000 cases are discovered on a daily basis, which signifies improvement in the agency's testing capacity.
this very facility is a testament to the strides that we have made during such a short period. While we are not yet where we want to be as a nation, we are most certainly not where we were at the onset of the pandemic.
The Vice President, who is of the view that there should be more, is impressed by the achievement of the agency in a very short time, and in particular, the quality of staff and all health workers that are fighting the battle to keep everyone safe across the country.
Legacy. Every life that has been lost to COVID-19 is a major loss to our country. With this in mind, we will not relent until we assert control over the critical phase of this pandemic. I'd like to also urge all Nigerians to continue to comply with the advice of our scientists and healthcare professionals and to continue to take every measure to keep themselves and their loved ones safe. We will come through this period of our history as we have come through all previous seasons of adversity, by working together, by protecting each other, and by believing in each other and committing to seeing better days ahead for our nation.
There is no doubt that we must continue to invest strongly in health security, and it is one of the biggest lessons of COVID-19 pandemic, and one that our country cannot afford to ignore.
COVID-19 has taken so much from us, but it has also given us an opportunity to break from the past and build back better, contributing to building the country of our dreams, starting right here in Ghana.
The visit, as observed, would have positive impact on the workers with more commitment to duty. In Abuja, Jude Onifade, NTA News.
Healthcare sector and practitioners to continue to provide effective and efficient services, Nigerians must be enlightened to ensure they take precautionary measures seriously to protect themselves and their caregivers from the ravaging coronavirus. This call is coming from health practitioners in Akwa Ibom State who worry about the nonchalant attitude of some Nigerians about the existence of coronavirus. Ifoma Ioji reports.
Obviously, the healthcare has been the most stretched sector since the outbreak of COVID-19, considering its frontline health duties.
It has not really been easy since 2020 when the COVID-19 first came in. But we've tried our best with the limited resources we have. We as doctors and other health workers, we've actually tried our best to help our patients. Although this has exposed us to a lot of risk,
we were able to do our best, not minding. Even when other people were at home, we were still coming to work. And there was a time transportation was high, but we were still paying.
Despite the challenges posed by the persistent pandemic, the sector, according to practitioners, recorded great strides in the last year.
We were able to do, for the first time in the whole of the South-South, a resection of aneurysm of the aorta that had actually ruptured. We've had many successful spinal surgeries, many successful brain surgeries.
To keep the flag flying and curtail the number of healthcare practitioners contracting COVID-19 and even losing their lives in extreme cases, the medics advocate deliberate and consistent sensitization of the public while expecting Nigerians to cooperate with the authorities as regards the COVID-19 precautionary measures.
I find it very difficult to make your patients wear their face mask. Okay, they will come in, so we will tell you there is no COVID-19, it's political and all that. I know as they come in, they're exposing us to a lot of risk. So that's one of the challenges we have. And what I expect is for more awareness.
Promising efficient and effective healthcare services, health workers desire better remuneration. In Oyo, Ifoma Ihoje, NTA News.
For a break, Panorama continues in a moment. Don't go away.
For now, the best and most efficient way to avoid getting infected is through regular hygienic and sanitary practices, as well as social distancing. As individuals, we remain the greatest weapon to fight this pandemic. By washing our hands regularly with clean water and soap, disinfecting frequently used surfaces and areas, coughing into a tissue or elbow, and strictly adhering to infection prevention control measures in health facilities, we can contain this virus.
Coronavirus is real. Steps to avoid this pandemic. Wash your hands regularly or sanitize your hands. Keep social and physical distancing. Avoid crowded places. Stay at home unless absolutely necessary. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth if your hands are not clean. Avoid the spread of coronavirus. Coronavirus is real.
Back. The recent security and high cost of maize across the country has continued to be a source of concern to farmers and consumers alike, as it puts great pressure on food sufficiency drive of the government as well as profitability to agribusiness. Kaudiola Doshu in this report highlights the challenges of shortfall in maize production and its effects.
One of the cereal crops grown in Nigeria is maize. Its plantation not only serves as food for man, but an important ingredient for livestock, especially poultry feeds. The scarcity of maize and hike in its price in the recent time has continued to pose a threat to the poultry industry, creating a shortfall in the production of poultry feeds.
Do we plant enough maize to go around? And now, the feed mill, if you can take around, you could see that we hardly have at least 100 kg of maize, ungrounded maize, in our feed mill for now. How do you want the poultry farmer to break even?
As poultry industry provides different jobs opportunity through its various products, the non-availability of maize and soya bean for poultry feed in the Nigerian market is now taking an unpleasant narrative on the industry.
Sent so many small-scale farmers to their early graves. Many medium farmers became crippled. The mega farms that have strong shock absorber are now at the verge of collapse. Looking at the situation and the immediate loss of job that is staring us at the face, it's high time the government come to our rescue. That are remaining are those that have passion for the business, because the business is no longer profitable as we speak. All we are doing is to make sure that the business survives. We are no longer making profit.
Though the federal government has pronounced that 300 metric tons of maize will be released into the Nigerian market to cushion the scarcity of maize by February this year, experts have the view that given a vast arable land mass for farming as well as government intervention, the nation will be food sufficient year in, year out. In Ibadan, Kaudiola Doshu, NTA News.
And now joining me in the studio for the discussion segments is the chairman of Farmers Association of Nigeria, or your state chapter, Mr. John Olateru. You're welcome to Panorama.
Thank you very much.
Now, from that report, we saw that the name on the lips of the poultry farmers is maize, maize, and maize. How important is maize as a crop in Nigeria?
Maize is a very powerful product. If you look at it, for human consumption and for poultry and other livestock consumption. For us, we use it but in the poultry sector, it constitutes, you look at it, feed is 75% of the cost of operation in poultry. And in that feed, minimum of it is 50% is maize. So maize is so crucial that even with all the alternatives we are looking for maize, you still cannot replace maize 100%. It's still mandatory on us to still be using. We have all these new innovative development on cassava peel, but still that is not 100% replaceable.
I believe that since maize is that important, if the crop is that highly grown by farmers across Nigeria and can survive under different conditions of weather, why then do we have this situation talking about the shortage and now the death?
Well, it's the climatic condition, the change in the climatic situation that is causing the problem. And We are in the era of climatic change, which makes the weather so much unpredictable. The problem we have is from last year, from the onset of the COVID-19, coupled with the kind of rainfall pattern last year, really make the case to be really worst. Right now, you got to the point that to get a single bag of maize it becomes a problem. The same thing goes with soya. So, and it gets to the point that price was like escalating on daily basis. Price moved from 90,000 per ton on maize to as high as 210,000, 215,000 naira per ton now. But with the announcement, the CPN with the national president of the Maize Association made recently, we started seeing some ray of hope. But what I can say right now is with the 300,000 metric tons that they are planning to release into the market, it will only solve the problem halfway. We still need, there will still be need for effective for importation to augment the local need. So while we are talking of that for the short-term measure, we are also looking at a situation whereby we engage irrigation system in the full length.
Now, before talking about the irrigation system, we have different species of the maize crop. Can some be separated for humans so that others can go for livestock feed so that it can reduce this present situation?
Well, the situation is the classification of maize we are having is right now in the country is suitable for both human being consumption and livestock. It's difficult to say this is for livestock and this is for human consumption because we are consuming the same thing.
Okay. Now that we are consuming the same thing, now the effect of the maize scarcity by poultry farmers has been an issue in recent times. What are the available coping mechanisms available to the sector, talking about alternatives now?
Well, I wish there is a serious alternative. The only serious alternative we have for maize is cassava peel. And cassava peel, if well processed, yes, it can be used as maize substitute. But it is not 100% replaceable with maize. You still need maize. So the only thing is it will reduce pressure on maize.
So, reducing pressure on maize, don't you think the association should work in synergy with research institutes and the government to ensure that this alternative is harnessed?
Definitely. We are working with the researchers. We work with IITA, the high LRI. They are the people working on this project. And we've gone a long way on this cassava peel research. Initially, we didn't know that we were looking at cassava, or just ordinary cassava before, and because there is a lot of limitation with just ordinary cassava, which means it's only having starch only, which is carbohydrate. But with the cassava peel, we have protein and every other thing that is available, that is not available in the cassava peel. So we know now that to some extent we can use cassava peel, but still it is not a situation where you can eliminate maize 100%.
Okay, at the moment while you are waiting the intervention of the federal government to deliver the 300,000 tons of maize, what are you doing at the meantime to ensure that you sustain the poultry farm? Talking about looking at insect protein.
Well, on the insect protein, we've not been advised on that area, and on the availability and then the usability. And I know we'll be interested, as soon as this research is completed, we'll be interested in knowing how the usage and the applicability.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olateru, for coming on Panorama.
Thank you for having me.
In compliance with the directive of the federal government for universities to open on the 18th of January, the University of Ibadan is to complete the 2018-2019 academic session amid second wave of COVID-19. Correspondent Shola Wahid reports.
The of COVID-19 pandemic worldwide compels the federal government to shut down schools nationwide in March 2020. The Academic Staff Union of University, ASU, also embarked on strike to press on their demands from the federal government. For about 10 months, students have been out of their academic environment, a situation that has affected the duration of their academic pursuit. With the directive of federal government for schools to resume, to reduce the impact of the pandemic on education, leaders of unions at the University of Ibadan explain what they have done to protect their members.
That believes in the law. The schools belong to federal government, and they have, in their wisdom, said the school should reopen. Then the Senate of the University of Ibadan has announced that schools should open. So the University of Ibadan is open for academic work, and our members have been on at their duty post fully.
With virtual learning arrangement, I think is at least going to make us to be safe compared to we are going to be physically available.
For the sake of the children, I mean the youths that are coming into the university, kindly do a bit to support them so that they can buy equipment and materials that will help us to at least challenge COVID-19.
Use visual lecturing, e-line lecturing, not to allow students, because a lot of them come from different states, a lot of them come from outside the country.
As the world battles to end the scourge of COVID-19, stakeholders in the education sector are urged to ensure that staff and students abide by the preventive rules of using face masks in public, engage in constant hand washing, maintaining social distance, and observing other preventive measures stipulated by medical experts. In Ibadan, Shola Wahid, NTA News.
In our sports, one service, one game ends today. For months